Alright guys, how's it going? You alright, yeah? Just having a coffee, you know what I'm saying? Alright, coffee. Did you enjoy my video earlier? I bet you still watched it, aren't you? I'm not going to talk long about Liverpool in this video, more than an hour long, won't it? Well, you know me. At least that will annoy a few people. Rodders, who remembers Rodders? We got Remy now. Oh, I'm going to have some chocolate. I won't refer to it by its name. Don't want to upset Colin. Do you know what? Someone else commented on one of my videos earlier today. You know, they used to comment on my videos. And they were deeply offended as well by my video of me eating chocolate. I mean, I found that rather funny because my brothers on here, they're not offended, but other people are. I mean, did they think I went to the local lodge to buy this? This is Spanish chocolate. That's why it's called this. And I bought it from Mercadona, which is like the equivalent of Tesco's, if you like, from a supermarket. Don't know why you'd be so offended. But because you were offended, it gave me an excuse to have some more. Well, keep being offended. Very strange people out there. It is nice, right? Keep being offended and I can keep making videos eating chocolate. Right guys, first of all, in my last video, I think I didn't put Kefren Turam, I'm told it's Turam, in the title. I think I actually put Marcus, which doesn't make sense anyway, because it should have been Manu, I think. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting confused with all the names. But the point is, you know what I mean, right? You know what I'm like. I'm useless with names. I have a terrible memory. Sorry. Personal stuff. Yes, so you know what I mean. Thank you for pointing out in the video. Sometimes I work very fast, you know, like quickly type something up and I can be thinking about another thing that we just discussed, or I'm about to do a news article, or actually when I uploaded that last video, I was in the middle of a news article about Kone, which I still haven't published. It'll be on coptalk.com shortly, and it's just, you know, your mind's all over the place really, but you know what I mean. So, but thank you for pointing it out. I wanted to talk to you about the club sales situation. Many Liverpool fans, those that strongly oppose, you know, Fenway, don't believe the club has ever been for sale. They think it's just all a big ploy to try and, you know, buy time and let, you know, say we tried, but we didn't find, you know, so the fans go, oh, you know, they think that. I don't think that, right? And you'll have noticed that all the reporting surrounding it has dried up, yeah? Which kind of proves to me, not that I need proof because I know how they all work, about the ITKs on social media, because none of them have got anything to say about it at the moment. The only time they have anything to say about it is when all the newspapers are doing stuff and they try and, you know, work out what to say and what you want to hear. But now that the credible people have sort of like stopped talking, so the ITKs, I always find that, you know, it all coincides, it runs parallel. You could argue, well, that's because if there's stuff to talk about, then journalists are going to talk about ITKs. But I think the ITKs and journalists watch what someone else is saying and try and analyse it and try, you know, and we do that on here, right? We try and analyse what everybody's saying, and I think with knowledge and experience, and when you know some of these people and the relationships they have and so on, you can piece a lot of it together through common sense, to be honest. But anyway, it's all quiet. It's all quiet at the moment. No one's got an opinion on it but me, which is kind of, you've probably seen this video pop up on your notifications, or I hope you've got them turned on. You go to the main channel page, I think there's a bell, select all videos or all notifications. I don't know how it works, to be honest. I'm a granddad, I ain't got a clue. So you maybe saw this pop up and went, oh, this is interesting, why is Dunk talking about that? Because there's nothing happening. Well, I'm not so sure that's the case. So we're going to stick with, moving forward in this video, just opinion, speculation, idle speculation. There we go, let's call it that. And then we won't have an hard time. I am of the opinion that Liverpool Football Club is very much up for sale. I genuinely believe it's up for sale. I genuinely believe that there are conversations taking place in the background. There has been some chatter to me along those lines, but not enough to warrant being extremely confident. If you follow my content or you follow me for years, you'll know that I personally prefer to have 2 or 3 people that I trust and know personally tell me something that all is along the same thing, same topic, same claims, similar claims, especially if they don't know each other. Because then I just think from my experience that tends to be true when that happens, all right? So obviously the more people that are saying something that you trust, the more likely it is to be genuine. It doesn't mean if one person tells you something they're lying. It depends how they work and so on, right? Where they work and what they know and stuff like that. And often, sometimes people that I have never met before, never spoken to before, will inbox me. Someone's been trying to give me some information to do with the club sale for several weeks that I do not know, that I've not followed up on yet. And I know you're thinking to yourself, hey, stupid, why not doing that? Because I'm just so busy with everything else. And I will do that. But I don't know. There's a reason for that. But anyway, at least one person that I do know is adamant that there is things happening in the background to do with FSG potentially selling. I mean, it's all gone quiet, hasn't it? Admittedly, and also the suggestion of minor investment. Now, do you remember we got told it was going to be this major rebuild, and even the Fenway Echo was saying, oh, it's going to be 250 million, then 150 million, then 100 million. That decreased, and then it was like, well, we don't need a major rebuild, we just need a rebuild, and now we don't need a rebuild at all. Then we have the captain saying that. Jordan 5-yard, as we used to call him back in the day. And which is quite funny because he's part of the reason we need to rebuild. Personally, you know what I mean? I'm not hating on him. It's just an opinion. But we don't need this. It's all downplayed now. And what it used to be was initially to take the club forward. They're going to have to sell or whatever, or they're going to have to get minor investment to bankroll this major rebuild. Blah blah blah, and all that's gone very quiet because I don't think. That FSG want to do minor investment. I think that I'm going to be controversial for a change. I think I was going to say conspired, but let's just say I think they worked with 2 journalists at the very start of the window or a little bit earlier than that, and managed the Jude Bellingham situation. I'm convinced that they used 2 journalists working with them, because that's what a working relationship is. You can do a bit for us. I'm not saying those journalists do spread deliberate lies or would intentionally or knowingly mislead, but if a journalist is told something, he can only pass that on as to what he's been told, or they can plant a seed. That's what I think. I think they worked with 2 journalists this summer, at the end of the season, and managed that whole Jude Bellingham situation. Fuck me, O'Reilly. Did you hear that? No idea. Where was I? I'm just trying to rebuild my ass. I know, Remy, did you hear it? He stood there going, what was that? I think they worked together, got it out there, you know, because it was just the way it all came out. We had this massive, like, we're going to go for Bellingham, and then we didn't go for Bellingham, and I think that what they did in between that section was, let's see how the fans react to that, right? Some of you might not go along with this, but that's what I think, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist in the slightest. But I think that they were like, let's see how the fans react. Now, if the fans with the Bellingham one, I think, actually reacted really well, and to the point now where everyone's gone, well, that's it, it's done. Yeah? So you could say manage your expectations. I know that's a buzz statement that I brought back from Boston when they bought the club. But the mood is all right. You would agree that? Yeah? There's people that are fed up, and I'm fed up we didn't get Bellingham. But I'm not raging. And I genuinely believe that the way the fans reacted to it, which wasn't really, really bad, may have actually contributed to the situation this summer. And you're probably thinking, what, so you're saying because of my mood, Dung, that we didn't go for Bellingham, or we went for this player? And he said, yeah, because collectively, one voice and millions of voices is a lot of people. And kind of a suggestion of all of that was, well, if you want these big players, these 6 big £100 million players that Jurgen Klopp even trotted out, you know, some of the suggestions behind all that was, well, you'd have to sell, you know, the soul of the club to the Middle East. That wouldn't be very nice. So then you've got the top reds that you call them, not me, I'd never use that term. Then going, well, we don't want that. We don't want to do that. We want to stay as we are. So let's keep our owners. And everything's hunky-dory. So there's no pressure, because when there's outrage, there's pressure, definitely. And I think some of you will be going, nah, I'm not having it. Anyway, it doesn't matter what you're having, I'm just expressing an opinion. And I think, because the move's okay, that's why we dropped into this, well, we don't need a major rebuild, do we, guys? No major backlash, only from the extreme FSG out people. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying the people that are like, because I'm FSG out, you know, I'd rather work here, but I don't lose sleep over it. Do you know what I mean? But there are some people out there that are like, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? So they're still rattling on in the background, and that's fine, and I agree with that, that's fine. But there was a time, and you can't deny this, even if you're not with me at the moment, you can't deny this, that months ago, they were talking about, well, we're going to have to bring in, you know, minor investment to bankroll the rebuild this summer, right? And I said many months ago, if things are calm in the summer, right, and if they can get away with it in the summer and the club can finance its own transfers as it usually does in the summer without the need of investment, that I thought, my opinion was that FSG would hold off on the minor investment to see if they could wing it to get through the summer. And if they get through the summer and do that and drop some really, really good, like, hey, it was only 35 million, you know, and we got this player and we got that player, whether it's Thuram, whether it's Kone or Marcus or Manu or Kefren, whatever, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm forgetting everybody's names at the moment. At the end of the summer, if everyone's chilled, they've still clung to 100% of the club, and they haven't had to, part with any stock, shares, percentages of the club, or Fenway, the higher entity. And that buys them a lot more time. You know what I mean? So, if you were FSG, this is, let's be honest, I could record this video and tomorrow there could be news that they've taken a minor investment. There's two parties that I understand in America that want to take minor investment in the club. And they've been there for ages, right? Going back to even prior to last November, but it's not happened. So that therefore shows that Fenway are like, well, we don't need to do that. Because if you want to do it, you do it, right? If you need money for something in your own personal life, and someone goes, I can give you that, you go, right, I'll take it, thanks, I need it, right? If you do it, you go, I'm not going to take that if I don't need it. Right? It's the same principle, right? So they've not done that yet. It could still happen, but at the moment, they haven't done it. Now, I've got to be honest, the one person that I trust, well, no, I trust lots of people, but the one person that's talking to me about these things that I trust is not talking about minor investment, and they're very much along the lines of Duncan. I'm usually called Dunk, but when I'm in trouble, I'm called Duncan. Yeah. But I ain't stood in front of a beak for a long time, and driving offences. Speeding or something. But and my mum's not around anymore, so I don't get the Duncan. So I don't know why you'd be calling me Duncan, but maybe it's formal. Anyway, so he said, Duncan, you need to not take your eye off this because there are things happening behind the scenes, so to speak. He didn't use that term, but that's what he meant. And there was a name from the East, if you like, that is said to have a strong interest in the club. And they've been linked for a long time. GIC. And it shouldn't be dismissed. Okay? So, whether that's true or not, whether they are, I don't know. I think there is some truth in that, actually. Now, the people that we know that we're interested in, or that we were led to believe were interested in buying into Liverpool Football Club right at the start of the year, the intensity and the noise surrounding all that was incredible, you would agree. And now there is nothing. Why is there nothing? You don't just give up on something. You don't just give up on something. Over time, maybe. But you don't. You hang around, you wait, you see. Now, the key message that I've been given, right, and this has come from one person I trust, and at least one person that I don't know, but has been a supporter of Cop Talk for many years, so there's no reason for them to mislead me, it wouldn't serve any purpose, is the opinion is, from people within and outside of the club, but whatever, is that look at the timeline of things. Look at the timeline of the process. We were told the process maybe a month, 2 months ago by some of the clique. We're now at this stage and they're going to go in over the summer to look at things fine, a little bit finer as to who might have interest and things. And then you look at the timeline. Like, for example, right, and this is what's been fed to me. How long is it going to be before that expansion, the work, redevelopment at Anfield is complete, right? And at what point is George's, the new sporting director, we call him George around these parts, when is his contract due to end? Because it is a short-term contract initially. It could be extended or whatever. But the tie-in, his contract duration and the development completion dates, estimations, they all tie in. And there are people making suggestions within the club and outside of the club that have an interest in Liverpool Football Club that I know and that I don't really know, that are basically saying, look, you need to look into this because the plan here is they want to get that stadium expansion complete. I think we all, if you've got anything about you, know that appointment of the sporting director absolutely must be related to a potential sale of the club. Now, I don't want you to think that means that they've got someone lined up. I don't believe that. I mean, they might have someone in the mind that's willing to buy or invest, minor invest, whatever. But I don't believe for 1 minute that they've sat there going, right, we're going to do this and do that, and then we're selling. We're going to sell it to him. I don't believe anything like that. But up here, they have to go through the same thoughts that you go through, right? So it's not like, I don't know, if I was going to sell my house, if I'm thinking I'm going to sell my house, and you think about this yourself, right? I'm thinking, right, I'm going to sell my house. I've had enough. I want to go, right? I think like that every summer transfer window. I think, fuck this, I'm off, right? So I could look at my house and I know what this house is worth, right? Based on the market value of other clubs, like Manchester United, other houses, sorry. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, other houses nearby, I know what it's based on, and they're looking at clubs, so they can value on Manchester United. Not Chelsea so much, that was a quick sale because of the controversial reasons for that sale. So I know You know, what the house over there, Manchester United's going to cost. But what that can raise, maybe I'll keep an eye on it, see what happens. Oh, he's selling it. I'm going to see what he does, right? But in the meantime, you know, I started like building a little conservatory on the back here. I didn't really, right? But I started building a little conservatory, and I know that that is going to make this house more attractive than that fucker's over there. He's still going to sell his, right? And he's going to get X amount of pounds. And if he gets more money for his house, I know that's my starting point. Oh, well, I can, you know, all right, he's got a bigger swimming pool than me. But, yeah, do you know what I mean? So, I'm not doing a very good job, But you know what I'm saying? What I'm trying, right, forget him, forget Manchester United over there, what they're doing. But you keep one eye on the fucker, don't you, right? So we'll keep an eye on them. But what we do is, I'm not going to sell my house now because 3 months from now, my conservatory's going to be done. You know, a bloke's going to bring his missus round and she's going to go, oh, Dave, this is great. Look at this. Good luck sitting in a conservatory in Spain like you'd melt. But look at this. No, this is great because women are like that. You know what I'm saying? So every buyer has influences from other people. And, you know, you might get an interested party and they might go, yeah, but look at Man United. It's more of a, you know, they've got this going for them above Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. But every club and every house has something unique. And I can tell you now, I know what my house is worth to me and I know what it's worth on the market. And I know if I did a little bit more, I did an extension work, but it's going to increase my valuation somewhat and it's going to attract more, potentially, interest. And if you don't believe that, if you think that's too simple terms, oh, this is football, we're not talking about conservatory. If you, it's the same principle. It really is. And if anything, in football, bums on seats, it's not about how many people they can get in the stadium, it's how many people they can get spending in the stadium and the corporate side of things and the potential. And when it's finished and it looks great, am I going to take pictures of my house now and sell it? You know, no. I'm going to wait till I've done the work and then I'm going to really fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on, even if you're not doing a conservatory or adding something to your house, before you sell your house, you give it a lick of paint, don't you? All right, do you know what I mean? This isn't me saying this shit either, you know, when I think about it, because I know you think I'm mental, but this is at least one person connected within the club somewhere, all right? Forget the one that we don't know, but this is someone within the club saying, wait until the groundwork the ground is redeveloped, and they'll sit down and then they will reevaluate everything. It ties in with claims by the hacks, the click of that time process. You know, so back in January, February, everyone thought the club was going to be sold, but, you know, everyone was along the lines of, well, no, they've only just started, like, putting the feelers out. They're now in that situation where they think they're going to start maybe looking at serious people, right? That's what we were told. And that ties in with the timeline of the redevelopment and also the timeline of the appointment of George. Now, I'm not clutching here, guys, because I don't really expect anything to happen, and I'm not making this video telling you this is going to happen. I'm telling you what I have been told to look out for, and I'm sharing that with you. So you might listen to all of this if it's made any sense. It's not a very good video, I don't think, to be honest. But you might make some sense. You might get some sense from it and think that's actually a fair point. You might not. You might disagree and go, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about, which is probably most of my videos anyway. I'm not going to go for another 20 minutes trying to explain what I mean. People at the clubs are trying to suggest to me and someone outside of the club that the appointment of George is a short-term contract because the owners don't know if they're going to be here, and they think that once the stadium redevelopment expansion is complete, that there is a very good chance that they could sell and leave. If the mood amongst the supporters is good, if there's no bad vibe, if the first half of the season starts off well, FSG are not under pressure. They're in no rush to go anywhere, right? But if we have a repeat, you know, where things don't go very well, you know, come winter, FSG might be thinking, right, fuck it, let's get out. You know? I really don't know if I've explained it myself very well in this video. Please let me know. If I haven't, I'll redo the vid. Disappointed. I don't like it. Oh. I'll leave it with you. I gotta go. I think you know what I mean.